Good evening, and welcome to Point Counterpoint.
Tonight, a new promise from the president a week and a day after 14 students and 3 staffers were shot and killed at a high school in Parkland, Florida.
For many years where people sitting in my position did not take action. They didn't take proper action. They took no action at all.
Here with me tonight is Chairman of the National Hunting Board, Mr. Jerry Branham. The topic, gun control. More specifically, the handgun.
Keeping them honest, the question tonight is, what will that action actually look like? Will it be meaningful?
We're going to take action.
If he sticks to that idea, the NRA opposes it.
Most violent crimes in America are committed with handguns.
He's going against the NRA on raising the age to purchase to 21 from 18.
Should they be illegal? Jerry?
Of course not. As Americans, the right to bear arms includes handguns.
Well, there does appear to be at least a little daylight between what the NRA wants and what the president seems to want.
And besides, even if you made handguns illegal, you wouldn't be taking them out of the hands of criminals. You'd only be taking them away from the good, honest, hardworking gun collectors and hunters.
And he says he wants to ban bump stocks, which can make AR-15 style rifles fire as fast as machine guns, which the organization has not yet endorsed or opposed.
And why does a hunter need a handgun?
Tons of reasons. And rifles are good and all, but they're unwieldy. Handguns are much better for hunting in close quarters, like an abandoned warehouse or a factory.
For a moment, though, I just want to return to the president's belief that he won't have to take them on because, he says, the NRA wants to do the right thing. Keeping him honest, he said those words just a few short hours after Wayne LaPierre and NRA spokesperson Dana Lash made some pretty controversial statements at CPAC.
The elites don't care not one whit about America's school system and school children. If they truly cared, what they would do is they would protect them. For them, it's not a safety issue, it's a political issue.
And why would you be hunting in an abandoned warehouse or factory?
Say you tracked this big buck to the outskirts of town and you found that he made himself a makeshift home in the bottom of an abandoned warehouse. With a handgun, you could easily sneak up on him and get a death shot. That way he won't be running around with your daughter anymore and filling her head with ridiculous ideas and corrupting her character.
They care more about control and more of it. Their goal is to eliminate the Second Amendment and our firearms freedoms so they can eradicate all individual freedom.
All right, Mr. Branham, you are against the banning of the armor-piercing Deathmaster.
Yep.
This gun can shoot through bulletproof vests and Kevlar, the #1 cause of police fatalities last year.
You know, 4 years ago, it was only number 7. It's the fastest growing gun in the market. It's amazing.
Frightening, Mr. Branham. Why do hunters need to be shooting through bulletproof vests?
Really? Do I need to spell this out? Say a bunch of punk kids go out into the woods with a bulletproof vest and they strap it on a grizzly bear. Then what do you got? Invincible bears. Is that what you want? Invincible bears running around, raping your churches, burning your women? Help us. Someone get all these bears out of here. Stop these invincible bears. I'm sorry, we threw our special guns away.
Everybody knows you could smush a bear by throwing a giant boulder on it.
What if you people make giant boulders legal? Because of all the innocent people that get killed by giant boulders.
People don't kill people with giant boulders.
They will if you take away their assault rifles.
Oh!
And again, this afternoon, the president said he didn't think he'll need to oppose the NRA. So will the president follow through on the age restrictions and bump stock ban, given his record on such issues as immigration, floating bipartisan compromises, then gravitating back to the base?
All right, Mr. Branham, you're going to have to explain this for us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a baby skull-seeking bullet.
Yep.
This bullet, once fired out of a weapon, immediately targets the nearest baby skull and...
Breaks your heart, D. Lemon. Breaks your heart.
Listen, I know, I feel it. I know
Those
how
poor parents.
you
Explain that, sir.
Say there's this biker gang called the Baby Skulls. And the Baby Skulls thing is, they wear baby skulls around their necks. Anyway, this gang gets so big that they take over the United States government.
the kind of relationship we have, whenever I become emotional on TV, you tease me about it, right? And I know that you are not one for emotion, to show your emotions in that way.
Now, I'm not saying that you love the tragedy.
Then what do you got? You got biker gangs running through the streets of America, raping your churches, burning your women, knocking over everything. Help us. Who comes to the rescue? The good, honest, God-fearing Americans that own baby skull-seeking bullets.
This really hits you. You got 3 kids, all of whom I know in the family, and this hit home for you.
Listen, you know, I stopped. I don't go to as many as I used to go to.
You guys love it.
You can just fire anywhere, shoot in the air, the bullets lock on, bikers are falling left and right, and America's safe.
This is ridiculous.
You love the ratings.
I've been going to these for decades, and
You guys love it.
I was talking to Mukasey. I said, can you imagine if for 15 of the first 19 weeks of school, some monster stole a kid, did disgusting things to them, and left them out in the body for all to see?
To you and many in the legacy media in the back, crying white mothers are ratings gold.
We go crazy. The phalanx of protection that would be around the schools.
I am saying that you love the ratings.
The money, the incentives, the politicians, the laws, it would be all over.
You are a disgusting man, and this interview is over.
The elites don't care.
I spend a lot of time suppressing things that I worry about and think about.
I'm out of here. No, Brian, no, I'm serious.
Not one whit about America's school system. And not one whit about school children.
To save the rest of his class. To run at somebody who's going to kill him.
If they truly cared, what they would do is they would protect them.
Do you think about this when you send your kids off to school?
No, because I hope my son would do what Kendrick did.
Elites don't care.
I hope my son, Mario, has the balls.
The elites don't care. Not
Really? That's this. We don't even think about whether there's a problem.
for them. It's not us the issue.
I try not to think about it. I know what could happen. You pray, you do all the things that you're supposed to do, except what you should do most.
For them, it's not a safety issue.
Well, no law would have fixed it, Don. What law could you have done that would have made this not happen today?
It's a political issue.
And many in the legacy media in the back, you love the ratings.
Just like they've done every other day for years.
Many
In a country of 325 million souls,
in the legacy media
won't be the ones who get hit by the next bullets that start flying. We won't be the one that gets that phone call about someone you love who did.
But you know what?
legacy media
That's where we are.
love mass shootings.
Like, imagine that.
But you know what?
This is who we are right now.
You know what?
The list goes on and on and on.
Legacy media love mass shootings.
Sandy Hook, Columbine, Virginia Tech, Emmanuel AME Church, Pulse nightclub shooting, Las Vegas. Every single one of us is just playing the odds.
You should fight for this.
There's another fact that we need to face. We need to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. Your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your spouse, or your parent, even a friend, anyone you know.
This is ridiculous.
You know, sometimes I think about this. I was like, what I should do is only this.
That was this morning.
Nothing's going to happen. Now they got to live with it.
Ridiculous.
This is a sickness that has infected the country.
What the hell is he talking about?
Unchecked and unfettered gun violence.
Baby skull-seeking bullets?
And that's why I get so pissed off at people.
With the tragedy remaining in the headlines for even a shorter time than it did before.
You love the ratings.
Everyone agrees with that. People, we have no one to blame but ourselves.
I am saying that you love the mass shootings.
And you know what? They are absolutely right. And then when a bunch of people are killed and lives are shattered, we are sad and maybe angry, and then we forget and we move on until the next time.
Hey, TV host, you're gonna get a beat down.
Help! 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 Help!
They gotta live with it.
All right, Mr. Branham. You're going to have to explain this for us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a baby skull-seeking bullet.
Yep.
This bullet, once fired out of a weapon, immediately targets the nearest baby's skull and...
Then what do you got? You got biker gangs running through the streets of America, raping your churches, burning your women, knocking over everything. Help us. Who comes to the rescue? The good, honest, God-fearing Americans that own baby skull-seeking bullets.